We're going to start our review here with the 250 class. It's been an amazing season. Let's see if we can just get you hyped up with all the highs and lows throughout this year.
First time for the 250s. Drop the gate. Jed Lawrence wins A1.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Hunter Lawrence is the 250 East champion.
Jed Lawrence is the 250 West champion.
And the season's underway outdoors.
Checkered flag, Levi Kitchen on the out. RJ Hampshire wins. Haiden Deegan has won the first ever moto in the SMX Championship. Shimoda takes the lead, the first ever winner of an SMX 250 race by taking Charlotte. Hunter Lawrence, your championship leader, coming into our final race in Los Angeles.
Okay, yeah, it was dynamic. Obviously, the big topic of the 250 class was mostly Lawrence brothers sweeping both Supercross titles and then Hunter winning the Motocross campaign, Haiden Deegan winning the SMX title. But individual of that, there were so many other great things that happened throughout the year. Haiden Deegan's SMX title was big, JT, but I think there might have been more attention on that crazy heat race. Was that Detroit, if I remember right, with he and Jordan Smith? That was a hot topic.
Yeah, and for Haiden, I was really concerned that things were going to spiral the wrong direction, right? There was this narrative, and there's so much talk amongst the media, amongst the fans about just the way he interacted with the teammate, comments he made on the backside of that in the press conference. But to his credit, he was able to quiet the noise, stay out of trouble really from there. He has not had really any other incident or any other negative press since then. So great job by him, by recovering, being able to just accept that it wasn't the best night and move forward. And you just think about, where he's gone from then. He was an absolute force all the way through the Pro Motocross Championship, really, I think, established himself. And then, he's also your Super Motocross world champion there at the end of September as well.
Yeah, we were also wondering when Haiden turned pro, the attention that already was on him, because he's so successful on YouTube, what would that be like? What did the spotlight look like? Well, we did see his every move was analyzed at a much higher degree than probably any other rookie has ever been because of that. I mean, there were literally people, I believe, going to these races just because of him. We've seen big talents come in. I don't know if we've seen anything quite like that before. So that was a fun dynamic to watch. RJ being RJ, we could pick probably a dozen examples of RJ Hampshire just going for it. But probably the best one is a last-ditch title attempt in the mud here in New Jersey.
Yeah, RJ Hampshire is all effort, all heart, all the time, right? And I think it is his best asset, and it's also sometimes his biggest weakness because I think he pushes too hard. He doesn't always know where the limit is. But yeah, that move to try to make a last corner pass at New Jersey, I think he got him in a little bit of hot water because I think it was a little bit careless, but it's also just indicative of who he is. He gives us some of the most spectacular passes and moments, but he also gives us times where we shake our head too. And just thinking about Motocross of Nations, I'm going to go in hoping he gives us all the good things and not the bad things. But as we know, again, RJ is RJ.
Race of the year in the 250 Supercross division, I think it's got to go to Tampa and the last lap charge and last turn pass here by Hunter Lawrence over Nate Thrasher.
Yeah, this was Hunter. You know, he did this so many times, and he would make passes whether he needed to be aggressive or not. It just seemed like he always had the answer when he needed one. And this was really the breakout year for Hunter. I mean, he's been good, he's been solid, he's had some wins here and there, but to be this consistent, and I think he really asserted himself as the guy in the 250 class. You know, every single weekend, regardless of who you were thinking about Hunter first. And I think that was a new dynamic for Hunter Lawrence. I don't think he's ever been in that position. As soon as his brother exited the 250s, Hunter jumped into that spotlight and took over the reins of that class. And on the backside, we'll see who takes over, but this was certainly the year of Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He was the best rider in the 250 division. If you average it all out from beginning to end, no doubt, even though Deegan got that SMX title. But I don't think people had expected Deegan to maybe be Hunter Lawrence's chief competitor throughout the year, but he ended up second in the Monster Energy Supercross 250 East standings. But at Redbud, when he finally got his first pro win and Hunter had a bad race, this was huge to really establish that he's not hype. He's not just a YouTube guy. He is for real as a racer.
Yeah, I saw some belief in Haiden Deegan for one of the first times because I think he was trying to sort this out, find his place in this 250 class. You know, he came in Supercross, he was a top 10 guy, but we didn't really think he could go win and be a championship contender. But then at Redbud, things went his way. Hunter Lawrence had a crash. Haiden wins for the first time, and I could see it unfolding in his mind as like, okay, I can do this. I can be this person in this class amongst these riders that have more experience or older. But I think he felt capable in that moment, and that was really the turning point for me in Hayden's career, and the rest is going to be history with him, as it already is. He's your inaugural 250 world, Super Motocross world champion.
Yeah, and then Hunter arrives. It's a totally different way of doing it. Haiden talks about sending it all the time. You got to see Hunter a lot after these races, the emotion coming off the track. There wasn't much. And I asked him about it in the press conference before the LA finale, and he said that is a learned trait. He used to be super emotional like most athletes, but he learned for his own benefit, you've got to turn that off and approach it from an analytical standpoint instead of an emotional standpoint. And JT, you can speak to this. When he pulled the helmet off, he was all business all the time.
Yeah, and there's a parable that we're all destined to turn into our parents. And for Hunter, it seems like he is adopting many of the things we see from his father, Darren, as we all know, as Dazzy Lawrence. You're not going to get much from him, right? He's going to tell you what he's thinking, but there's no emotion behind it. It's all analytics. It's all well thought out, well in advance. And I think that is where Hunter is gravitating towards. He's learning from his father and becoming many, he's just utilizing. That's a strength for Dazzy's. I think he thinks about things and he doesn't let emotion cloud his judgment. And I think you're seeing that in Hunter as he gets older.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.